Hello everyone, Sheila back again. Welcome to my channel. Haven't been on for 1 or 2 days because, as most of you probably know now, I do like 1 or 2 days off now and again. And I've been knitting that and I've got a wrong stitch somewhere. I've done 3 knit instead of 2 somewhere. I'll have to take that row back a lot. That's what happens when I don't concentrate. But I'll put that down anyway. I can sort that out in a minute. I'm knitting this is another PDF I will be doing. This is for I'm doing these to sell. Try to add some stock into my shop actually. But this is the double moss stitch. This is the knit 2 purl 2 for 2 rows and purl 2 knit 2 for 2 rows. Simple as that. They're very simple patterns that I do the tutorials for because they are mostly for new knitters really. But I've already done this one. I've done an 18-inch in it. I'm busy knitting the 16-inch at the moment. And I have done a 24. According to my instructions here, I've got instructions written down for 20. I can't remember doing the 24, but I must have done it because I've got all the instructions written down here for the 24. I have everything written down, you know, it's for 16, 18, 20, 22 and 24. And I have all those spaces for all those sizes. And I have all the instructions down for 18-inch. I do remember doing the 18-inch. And the space I have for the 24-inch, I've got all the instructions down for that. But I can't for the life of me remember doing it. I'll look through my Facebook and through my Instagram and that'll tell me, or even through my books, it'll tell me who I knitted for. It'll give me a clue. So when I knit these, after I knit the 16-inch, I'll only have the 20 and the 22 to do, which are smaller sizes and not take me quite as long. So that'll be another PDF when I get that sorted out. Because that's what happens. I do like to knit them before. Even though I've knitted them all before, I've never wrote instructions down and I'm only starting to write them down now. Most of them are in my head. I know what I'm doing when I'm knitting, but without actually knitting and writing down what I've done, it goes out in my head. So anyway, I'm going to show you what I have been doing. As you know, I've got that little one. That was the one in the King Cole Splash. The second one in the King Cole Splash. I have sold the first one. I put that up on eBay just after I knitted it, the little 16-inch I think it was. I did sell that one. But these ones aren't going up until I get the special offer on my eBay shop. So that was a pink splash. It's actually called Strawberry, that splash one. And then there's this one. I finished this one. Just a slight little misjudgment here with the you see how the bit in the middle here with the little splashes on, there's blue and blue either side, and then there's green, like a different shade of green. There's this green and then this is another shade of green above there. Well, I misjudged it when I done the other side. I must have only got the darker green, and I think there's a slight little bit of the blue colour, and I didn't notice that until I was actually sewing it up. So there's no way was I pulling it out again because I had all those other seams on. It was when I come to sew that last seam onto there and I saw that. But it's not that noticeable. It's just as you come up the top, you have a little bit more blue and the green on one side than the other. But this wool is supposed to be knit as it is anyway, you know, just I like to match the stripes. But I have matched them on the sleeves, and you can see that the sleeves are fairly, and there's no matching on the back because that's what you start with and the way the stripes go on the back. So that one will be going on my shop as well when I get that offer on eBay. But I'm going to knit as much as I can to put on the shop for when I get that offer, and I am in the middle of doing the PDF for the for this actual pattern. I'm halfway through the PDF writing it out, but it does take quite a long time because I have to write down every single size. It was from 16 to a 24. I have to put down how much yarn or wool. Some people call it yarn, some people call it wool. I think the word yarns come from other countries, because we always just used to see wool in the United Kingdom. So I have to sort out exactly how much wool people need to buy for it, how many buttons, and then I have to put the tension down, and then the abbreviations. I have found, I think, practically all the abbreviations I can think of that I actually use. Not every single abbreviation, just the ones that I use. And it took me a long time to write them down, and I put them down in alphabetical order on the pattern. But I think I am going to copy and paste that bit onto one of my notepad things on my computer. So instead of me having to sort it out every single time, I'll just be able to copy and paste it onto the, it's like, it's not Microsoft Office I use, it's another free one that I found on the internet. It's just as good as a Microsoft Office, and I don't see any reason why I should pay for Microsoft Office every month when I can get it for free. So I'm going to copy and paste it, so I can just, when I'm writing the PDF on that Office thing, I can just copy and paste it onto the pattern that I'm writing. That'll save me a little bit of time as well, because it did take me well over an hour, I think not yesterday, a couple of days ago, just to write that bit down. And then I have to write all the instructions from the back, the sleeves, the fronts, and everything else. And it does take quite a long time, a lot longer than people think. It's not just a matter of writing something down, and it does take quite a while. And then when I finish that one, I do have a rosebud one. It might be 22, 24 and 26, because I have single patterns up for those sizes, and when I sort those out, I'll be deleting all the single sizes because they'll all be in this one pattern. But I have a 28 as well, and I'm still working on that one. I'm not sure whether I'm going to add it to the one I have at the moment, with the 3 sizes, and make it 4 sizes, because I did do 1 or 2 little things different in that one than I did in the smaller one. So I'm not sure whether I can just add it to it, but I'm going to have a look at it and see if I can work it out first and work it into the same pattern, so the sizes will go from 22 up to 28, if I can sort that out. And then any other ones I'm doing, I do have quite a lot of different of my own designs that I've been knitting. Some of them are actual stitch patterns that I've found in other patterns, but the actual design of the cardigans and that are mine. But the other stitches, any stitches that I do myself, is my own. You know, like this one, the 3x1. You can probably find it anywhere on knitting patterns, but it is a mock rib. It's not a full rib. A full rib will go in really tight. This one goes in a little bit. This one is a 24. But like I'm saying, they're stretchy. This pattern, because it is a rib, it is stretchy. And it'll stretch out to a 26. So that'll be okay for probably about a 3 to 5 year old. That one. And the same with this one. This one stretches as well. It was to a 20-inch, I'm doing it, but it stretches to about a 22. So there's actually a couple of sizes in these ones. And that's those ones. And then I got this bag finished. This is the bag I've been doing for Emma, which got all the lining in. But the only problem with this, when I did this, I did it flat. So you can see the bottom. Pull it out flat there. Where the bottom, I showed you how I was bringing the 2 sides in and making there's a seam up that side and that side. But when I did this, I put the lining on while it was flat. and forgot about when I come to stitch the sides up. So I have seams up there like that, which the needles, you know, it's to be used for a knitting bag, for the knitting needles as well as the wool and that. The needles can probably still go through there. So I kept, it was just a small amount of material. I can cut that in half and I can put that over the seams, just stitches. So that's a little bit more hand sewn I'm going to have to do on this one. I did try it on my sewing machine. I just put it underneath the foot, and it was just too thick, and I could see it was just not going to work on my sewing machine. You need what you call a type of industrial sewing machine for to sew something as thick as this, because it is quite thick actually. So it's going to be a bit more hand sewn. I'm going to cut that in half and put it over where the seam is down there. Like that, just cover over the seam, and I'll have to hand stitch around it. So that when I've got the other bag for the knitting needles done, I'll be sending both of those off to Emma together. I'm not sending them off in separate parcels, they're both going in one parcel. But I was going to do the bag for the knitting needles the same way. I was going to do it flat and then put a material over it, but I'm not sure that I'm going to do that, because I didn't like the way I had to do this. We had to do this seam and that on here, so I think I'll probably be doing it going round in circles like that, and then try and put the lining inside the way I did with my own when I did that. So it's probably going to be just an ordinary long one, you know, a long one that's going to be long like that, where the needles will just drop inside, and then I'll put a flap over the top with a button or something to fasten it. And this one, for the handles, I have put the handles on afterwards, but I should have put the handles on before I put the lining on, because I had a little bit difficulty with I just plaited put a lot of strands together and plaited it. And then one side was okay, I just slotted it through the crochet at the top, but when I come to do the other side, I had all those ends. And I did have to stitch them down. I managed to stitch them down in places, and then I managed to get them to go through the gaps in my stitching, because I'm not a perfect stitched sewing in material like this onto wool. So there was little gaps between the stitching, and I just put a crochet hook up from the outside and caught all those threads and pulled them all down inside. So there are ways and means, and I always find them. So at least that's the bag finished. So if you're watching, Emma, you'll be getting that shortly, but I'm not sure how long it's going to take me to do the bag for the needles, because I only do things like that, little orders I was just doing in the afternoon. And I like to do little baby things in the morning and other things in the morning, and then I'm going to get back to my own, because I have got a little bit done, but not much, because it got left again. I'm getting this far on it, but I will be starting that again tonight after I've been to my granddaughter's, because I'm going to my granddaughter's today, which I do every Sunday. I'll be getting my lunch and that there, so I'll have nothing to do when I come back and just be sit with my knitting, but it's going to be my own, because as we're starting to come into nicer weather, I won't be needing sweaters, I'll be needing cardigans. So that's a sweater I'm doing, so I need to get that finished so I can get a little bit wear out of it before the hot weather comes, because we are forecast to be having some heat waves this year, according to the internet. But you know, the internet tells you a lot of these things and they never happen. Even the warm weather, I think we've had an odd 1 or 2 days, but other parts of the country get more than what we do up here. So anyway, that's my little bit for today, and I'll catch you all later. So thumbs up and subscribe. Bye for now.